Hey, hi everyone. Welcome to your show Coffee with Experts. This is your host Ranma here, and today we have Matthew Wright, who is the partner and creative director at True Market with us. Hey Matthew, how's it going?
Hey, going great. Yeah, nice to see you.
Lovely. Matthew, before we move any forward, let's get to know you more. Why don't you talk us through your journey so far and also a bit about your agency, what you guys do, what you guys specialize in, and then we take it off from there.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, we're coming up on our 10-year anniversary with True Market this year, which is really exciting. And yeah, we focus primarily on websites. We do branding as well, but websites are kind of our real specialty, going all the way up into web app type functionality, and then also doing marketing type websites and those sorts of things. So yeah, we love what we get to do, and we're very passionate about making things that convert well and impress people and build reputation for our clients. So,
Lovely. And what was that moment, that kind of triggered that decision to start your own agency? Being an entrepreneur journey, it's not easy, but taking that decision is even more difficult.
yeah, it was a crazy it's a leap of faith when you start a business, right? To make that call of okay, I think
Right.
am I good enough to do this? Is this something that can work? And yeah, for myself, I was working at a different agency for a couple of years. It was a very nice job. They treated me super well. We had a pool table. It was a fun place to be. And I was there
Mhm.
for 2 years, and then my friend from school was saying, "Hey, I've got this business that I'm wanting to get going here. Did you want to partner with me and make this happen?" And we talked about that in school a fair bit. Of is that something we do one day, like once we were ready, sort of thing. And I'd actually just gotten back. I was part of a cross Canada bike ride that was working to fight against human trafficking. And in that, we'd been speaking in different churches and locations and really felt like we were having an impact to try and make the world a better place. And at the agency I was at, I just felt like the role I was in and what I was doing wasn't having that big an impact on the world and these talents that I'd been given. So kind of felt this
Mhm.
responsibility to use those for as much good as we could. So yeah, ended up chatting with my buddy and coming on and setting up True Market and getting that going. And
Mhm.
with the big kind of driving reason behind that is, hey, can we do things to make the world a better place? Can we do very high level work for amazing clients? And can we also do work for charities that couldn't normally afford it, that wouldn't be able to have
Mhm.
this level of work and are suffering because of it? Can we step in and help those guys out as well? So that's been a big piece of the driving mission. As True Market, we donate a third of profits every year to
Oh, lovely.
making those things happen and making the world a better place. So yeah, that's what we're all about.
Great, yeah, great. And you have worked with, literally everyone, in terms of working for startups, multi-billion dollar companies. So how did those experiences kind of, helped you, form your approach towards business in general? And what do you think are the challenges in, working for a startup versus, working for a large scale enterprise?
Yeah. Yeah, so it is. I mean, one of the things we love about being an agency is that we do get to do such a wide range of work. I mean, it's always interesting. It's always different, different challenges. But yeah, when it comes to working with a smaller company, it's more around, okay, how do we establish you in the market? What is your brand voice? How do we kind of set all these things up, which can be a fun, creative challenge to make something from nothing versus with the bigger, more established companies it's more about risk management and how do we build things in such a way that it's going to have much more guaranteed results. We aren't going to take too big of risks, but we're still going to be able to move the needle and move things forwards. So yes, it's really fun getting to work with that range of clients and the different challenges that come with them.
Right. And then, when you started your own agency, Matthew, so what were the, initial challenges? Initially getting the first client, keeping the lights on, paying off employees, kind of bringing up the support functions like the HR, hiring, finance, all of it has its own challenges. And then you have to take care of sales, ensure that, even if clients coming in to get the revenue flowing. So how did you manage all of it? What were the challenges? How did you overcome them?
Yeah, so yeah, for us, it was huge being able to have a business partner. So the two of us being able to tackle things together and kind of
Hmm.
divide and conquer and work in our strengths. I think that's a big piece of when you're getting something going, bringing on those right people or right partners at the beginning and figuring out what your strengths are, what their strengths are. And then, yeah, so it's a lot of grinding and working hard and learning and figuring out those new things. So yeah, onboarding clients was obviously a big piece when you're starting a business. You don't really have a business until you have sales. So how do you get those sales going? So we did a lot of networking at the beginning of just talking to people, and that also means you're learning from those other new entrepreneurs or different people of how are they setting up finances, what softwares are they using, and so I think networking is huge when you first get starting out of getting that going, getting those connections. And then for us, a lot of it was about developing our online presence. So at this point, essentially all our leads are just coming to us. And that's through having a website that's converts well, having listings and reviews and being out there and being able to get that established. But that obviously takes a good amount of time before you're built to that point. So
Do you still market, your website, your online presence? Do you do that?
yes, we do some marketing. We aren't
Okay.
actually doing any advertising currently, but we're doing things to get ourselves out there, SEO wise and that sort of thing. So
Right. I mean, we are an out and out SEO agency, but a lot of clients, they kind of ask you, not right there. I mean, while doing SEO for a lot of clients worldwide, your own website kind of takes a back
that
seat without you even realizing, right?
yeah, sometimes for sure. Yeah, it's hard to prioritize getting the right balance there. Yeah.
Right. Right. It happens. So, and then, you build a lot of fantastic websites, I'm sure. So, and when many websites, they fail to convert, right? Even if the look and feel and everything is fine, but, the end objective for any business is to make that, call happen, irrespective of what product, what service, right? So, in
Mhm.
your opinion, working across multiple businesses, niches across all these years, if you were to point out top three, reasons for this, why do websites, do not really convert, and what will be your advice to kind of, ensure that it is fixed?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I think probably the number one mistake would be not like jumping in too quickly and missing the strategic phase. So I think a
Hmm.
lot of it's tempting when you're getting a website going to just jump in and okay, what is it? What do we want it to look like? What do we want it to say? And just start writing, start designing, start deving, versus taking that time up front to say, okay, what is our real goal here? And let's dig deeper than just we want leads. Let's dig deeper into the problems and who we're speaking to, and then like building up that actual target audience so you kind of know who you're speaking to, what are the problems they're actually going through, and how can we help them to feel like the hero in the story as they go through the conversion journey. So taking that time up front to do that strategic work and planning, then when you go into building the website, you have a lot of information to make informed decisions. So it's less arbitrary rather than just being like, oh, let's use these colors because we like them. Let's actually pick colors that are going to fit with that target audience and set the right emotional tone that we want them to be experiencing as they go through that process. Content wise, let's walk them through those different steps that are kind of outlined. So that start with strategy, I think, is a huge piece to making a site that actually converts. Doing that planning, making sure that that's there. And then the second piece is a little bit more kind of more science-based in a sense of following the things that are actually best practices for conversion. So we talk a lot about measured content pacing. There's a lot of people that yeah, just everyone on the internet really is moving pretty fast. There's not a lot of people who are looking
Hmm.
to just read a huge block of text and are happy go through that, right? So
Yeah.
a big piece of it is how are you presenting the information? Are you presenting it in a way that's digestible and actually kind of draws them in? Or are you presenting them with barriers that are kind of pushing them away? So a giant text block is pushing them away. Distinct, very clear headings and a clear visual hierarchy. Those sorts of things are going to help draw the user in and help them understand and process the information quickly, and then
Mhm.
they can kind of move along into that. So that would be kind of number two is following those best practices and paying attention to those things.
Mhm.
And then number three, I think would probably come down more to the actual form that you're leading them to. So is that process clear in terms of that call to action and the form that you're sending them to? So often we'll also see websites that they've got a lot of good content. Maybe they have some strategic thought put into that. They're pacing it relatively well, but the CTAs are just missing. They aren't actually
Yeah.
asking for people to convert. And then if they do, they're taking them to like a big form that's really hard to fill out. So let's minimize those barriers again and have lots of CTAs, lots of easy ways for them to get to the form, and then make the form as easy to process as possible. So those three things I think would go a long way for a lot of websites.
Do you have a formula for CTAs in terms of, where in the page, what color, how many CTAs, let's say in a six scroll down, in a six-fold page? I mean, any fixed formula there, or it depends on client's niche, industry, their product, service, whatever.
Yeah. So I'd say there's definitely variance depending on the client and
Hmm.
that strategic plan that we've done up front. But a general rule would be you probably want to have a CTA in pretty much every section of your website. There's not a lot of reason to have a section that speaks to something and not have some further action to be able to be taken on that.
So if you're scrolling down, it's the same page, right? There's a
Yeah.
six-fold page. Do you have six CTAs there? I mean, that's how you would advise a client to go about it?
Yeah. So typically, yeah, if there's six sections, each of those sections would have some sort of button that would be either
Yeah.
learn more about that topic that you just briefly touched on,
Mhm.
or a full let's move on to a CTA to actually convert on the site sort of thing. Yeah.
Okay, okay. And coming to your portfolio, Matthew, I mean, your agency's portfolio includes over 200 clients, which is brilliant. So how do you ensure, that each design, because you might at some point might be, delivering projects through clients in the same niche, right? So how do you
Mhm.
ensure each design feels unique, tailored to the client's needs or business model while maintaining your creative integrity?
Yeah, for sure. So again, that kind of for us comes down to that initial strategic planning and research. So we do a benchmark report up front to look at competitors, look at what this company has been doing well or where there's different gaps might be, talk about their target market. So even if they're in the same industry, they're probably targeting maybe slightly different people, maybe higher end clients or lower end clients or whatever those differences might be. So based on those things, it gives us a unique brief when it comes to the design and comes to how we're structuring it. There's benefits in terms of things we've learned from past projects, but there's always a unique angle that we're able to take on that with the information of who the unique things about that particular company and what they're trying to do, which is really great.
Lovely. And any favorite client story? I mean, 200 plus clients, 10 odd years now. Give us your favorite client story.
It's a good one. Let's see. There's a in terms of us being really motivated about trying to help make the world a better place, there's a charity we work with called Helping Families Handle Cancer. And what they do is if your kid gets cancer, there's a lot of costs involved in trying to take care of all the different things involved there. So this charity helps support families with a family member who's going through that. So we were able to partner with them on a rebrand. Their old brand was really not showcasing the type of care and what they really um, do. It just wasn't hitting the mark for what they're all about. So we were able to step in and do a rebrand for them, and ended up doing this kind of umbrella type logo with this concept of a little shelter from the storm, that this kind of shelter from the pain and struggle that they're going through in that situation as the families walk through that. And the client was just over the moon with the success of that logo and the brand, and we did a whole website, and yeah, just such a cool project to be able to be a part of, and make the world that little bit better by helping those guys out. So super awesome.
Great. Yeah. Finally, AI, with tools like ChatGPT and automated design platforms on the rise, you know, what is your take on the role of AI in, design and dev and the future of high conversion websites?
Yeah, yeah. Yes, it's hard to know how fast that's going to move for sure. It's already changing things. We're already taking advantages of some time savings we can gain from using some different AI tools along the way. It's certainly at the moment that it still really needs a lot of human involvement to get things to a dialed in high level point. But I think it is going to continue to improve in these next few years. And the way I kind of see things going is the AI is going to take more and more of the kind of grunt work off our shoulders, and we're going to be able, as an agency, be way more efficiency and like, yeah, much higher efficiency. So one of our team members can produce maybe a 10x what they can produce today, by using these tools that can kind of do a lot of the kind of ground level work for them, and it means we can still produce the same quality, but with less of our time involved. So I think that'll overall that should help kind of bring the industry up in terms of more people being able to have websites that are doing a good job of showcasing what they do and converting the people that they're actually doing a really good job of serving.
Lastly, if you had to write a playbook for young designers and entrepreneurs, what would be your three golden rules for success?
Yeah. So I think finding your strengths is probably the number one thing you need to do. So trying a lot of things. I was blessed with the program that I was a part of. We had a wide range of different creative multimedia type things that we were a part of. So we were doing audio and video and web stuff and graphic design and animation and 3D. And so we got to kind of dabble with a lot of different types of creative work. And I think that's really crucial when you're first starting out, is finding what are those things that you actually kind of naturally have a little bit more ability at, and feels like, okay, this is kind of coming a little easier to me, because you don't want to just waste a ton of time on something that's a weakness for you. I'm dyslexic, so spelling is pretty rough for me. So if I tried to do spelling bees, I would fail all day, every day. It's just not something that is good for the way my brain works. But doing something in terms of graphic design, I can excel there. It's quite easily. So finding those things that you're actually good at, and then it's still going to take a lot of hard work at that thing that you've found that you think maybe this could be something you could succeed at. So once you've kind of dialed that in a little bit, then just putting in the time, putting in the hours, doing projects, whatever you need to do to just get more time in on those, trying to do everything you do the best you possibly can, and learning from others, looking at different inspiration that's out there. Really important to kind of be seeing where the industry is going. I don't know if you're familiar with the AWWW Awards. Have you heard of that before?
Which one, sorry?
AWWW Awards.
Might not have. No, sorry.
So yeah, that's a place that we kind of recommend taking a look as if you're a young kind of designer, because those websites, in our opinion, are some of the best in the world, the ones that are able to win. So if you take a look at those and you're kind of like, okay, this is what the best in the world people are doing, and then even trying to kind of take inspiration from those and say, okay, can I do something similar to this? And that'll pull your work up so far from if you see a website and you like it, you're trying to get to there, but that website is still this far away from those actual, really top tier award-winning websites. So look really high and then shoot really high, and even if you miss, you're still closer to the moon, sort of a concept. So yeah, so find what you're good at, work really hard at it to get there, and then learn from others and take inspiration from the different things that are doing really well, and yeah, put yourself out there.
Great. Thank you, Matthew. And for our audiences, if they want to reach out to you, how do they do that?
Yeah, so yeah, you can come check us out at truemarket.ca. We've got a bunch of our work on there and the different contact forms and those sorts of things. So always happy to talk about strategy or see if we can help you out. Yeah.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Matthew, for taking out time to do this with us. Yeah, really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much for having me on.
Cheers, man.